welcome to No Bad Vibes TV, and it's me, Chris the Enlightened, and you know what? Right now, I'm going to talk about energies, y'all. What I mean by that is more like, what the heck are energies? How do you use them? How do they work? And all that. So basically, what's going down right now, I'm just going to talk about how, like, to use them right now. Well, but actually, no, let's just get to, like, basically the root of it. What the heck are your energies? You have energy systems called chakras, and basically I described that in my video, 7 chakras. If you haven't seen that one, look it up. And it explains our energy fields in our body and how to use them. Basically, we have energy fields, spiritual energy fields, and these energy fields are filled with light, and basically it's like they beam off of you, and it's like a literal light that's invisible, and it beams off of you into the world. And it's like, especially in your brain, it's like the way you think, it kind of like, how do you say, sort of not prophesizes, but sort of like determines a lot of your outcomes. It's like, okay, for example, you think something, and your thought, what's in your mind, turns into it goes out to the world, and then when it goes out to the world, it turns into an actual spirit, and the spirit turns into an action, and so forth and so forth. So it's more like, what are your energies exactly? It's more like, I wouldn't say thoughts, but your energies are like your light. That's the light that beams off of you. Your energies are like magnets. It's like, you gotta be careful how you use them, because like a magnet, like a refrigerator magnet, you put a refrigerator magnet on, it sticks. No matter what magnet it is, it's gonna stick. It's kind of like, you gotta think of yourself like as that. You gotta think of the world like as that refrigerator. You know what I mean? That sounds weird, doesn't make sense, but I am Christy Enlightened. I guess I got a lot of storage on my phone. So where did I leave off? Oh yeah, because I had to start over. The thing I went out. So basically, I was talking about like how your energies are magnets, and basically you have to use them like carefully. It's kind of like what you say that goes out to the world, or what you think that goes out to the world, is going to come back to you. It's kind of like a boomerang type of effect. It's like, you put something out, it's going to come back to you. Whether it's good or bad, it's going to come back. So why not make it good? That's why it's important to treat people good. That's why it's important to basically live by that golden rule. Don't do something to you that you don't want done to you, type thing. And it's true. It's like, so what you put out comes back. You cheat, might come back. You know what I mean? You treat somebody like bad and shit, it's gonna come back to you. I don't know, somebody else might treat you bad, but it might come out a certain, I don't know. It's gonna come back somehow. So it's like, try to keep your slate good. You know what I mean? Make your energies, make those magnets good that you put out to the world. Help people. You know what I mean? Help those that need help. Those that are feeling bad, try to lift them up. Do things basically that are right, and don't expect nothing back. You know what I mean? Like, be one of those people who don't expect nothing back. You'll do whatever you can, and you still don't expect anything back in return. What's gonna happen is your return from your freaking magnet is gonna be like a good return. Now it's like, okay, you go, I always bring this up often in my videos. I say, like, you go rob a bank, obviously, like, you're gonna get caught, go to jail. Why would you want that to follow you? You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, just, also it's like, they base your energy like magnets. Like, they attract good, they attract bad. So it's like, you might be around, you might be thinking negatively, like, oh, something's bad's gonna happen today, then it actually does happen. You know what I mean? So it's kind of like, try not to think like negatively. It's always good to think positive, because you never know what the outcome could be. Don't assume someone is a horrible person if you don't know them. It's like, don't use that energy, don't use that magnet to say, hey, this person's a horrible person. The way you think is going to affect them, they're going to affect you. It's going to come back like a magnet. And I hope I make sense to all my no bad vibers out there. I just made that up. No bad vibers. Pretty much, thing is, it's like, spiritual world hears your thoughts. You know what I mean? So when you put out something bad, it's going to come out bad. Your actions, you do something bad, it's gonna come back. And you gotta understand, you have like a whole spiritual world out there, and you have like angels, you have all these spiritual entities that are fighting for you. So it's like, what a lot of people don't know is once you do something bad, they have to fight extra hard for you to, you know what I mean? Because it's like there's a lot of evils out there. It's like a spiritual war. In other words, they're basically fighting for you. Your spirit, your angels, there's a spiritual world full of people fighting for you. So it's like, you don't let them fight in vain. You know what I mean? Try to keep your slate good. Do right. Think right. Just be full of love and light, as much as love and light as you can, because with that light, it's gonna cast out all these evil spirits and stuff. And pretty much you can ask a lot of NDEers or just spiritual people. Regardless, you don't even have to have an NDE to be spiritual. You know what I mean? Like, anybody could be spiritual. The thing is, a lot of people have magnets, and you are the magnet, and people don't understand your spirit is so strong, and some people just forget. You know what I mean? And that's when evil comes and tries to fuck you up, and with something bad. Like, that's what they call a spiritual attack. Like, your car might get messed up out of nowhere, you know what I mean? And it's like, that's a spiritual attack. And usually people, like, that light can kind of ease the spiritual attack, you know what I mean? Because some people might get possessed by evil spirits and all this other stuff, and it's spiritual attacks. And it's like, because they don't remember that, hey, I have this light. Basically, it's going to sound corny, but you got to let your light shine. You have to, because without that light, you're going to be full of pain, you're going to be full of hate, you're going to be just an angry person, you're going to hate the world, everybody else, and that's going to follow you. That magnet that we just talked about a few minutes ago is going to fucking follow you, and that's not what the fuck you want. So, like I said, just keep your vibes good, you know what I mean? Your spiritual systems are there, your heart chakra. It's just also important to love. You have to love. I honestly believe I rather like over love than not love at all, because like when you don't love at all, when I didn't love at all, I had depression. That was a sign basically of my magnet. I used to think negative thoughts all the time, and it was a lot of negative stuff that would happen as I would forget things at home that I needed. I would forget money. I would just my decision making was spending money sucked, and then let's say I would drop shit, you know what I mean, like drop glass or some shit like that, you know what I mean, just because of the thoughts I was thinking. Or I might get into an argument with some friends or whatever it is. You might be, just something happens like at work even, to where you're like, makes you late for rent. It's just like a fucking chain, and all this came from bad thoughts. So it's like the magnets that I was sending out to the world was like coming back to me tenfold. So when I basically said, you know what, I'm gonna just show love all I can, I'm gonna think positive, guess what happened? Work started going good. Pretty much things started happening, got a better place. Certain trials that we go through with losing people and stuff like that, but it's not as bad as it could be if I were just continue just be thinking negative. Negativity is bad, it sucks, and it comes from that magnet inside of your brain and your heart and all that, and you cast it out to the world, and it comes back to you, and it fucks you up, you know what I mean? So, with that being said, it's just basically like, just be careful. That's basically the message of this video, is to be careful on how you use your energy, you know what I mean? Like I said, basically the main idea, be careful how you use it, because how you use it, it's going to come back tenfold. Good or bad, it's going to come back, so why not have it good? Pretty much, that's it for this video. I actually am getting ready for IANS 2019, and basically, I was trying to let my No Bad Vibes thing show. But basically, it's like, oh, did you guys not notice the peace signs? Peace. I wish I had more shirts like these, I swear. So basically, yeah, IANS 2019 is coming up. A bunch of NDEers come together. They, they share their experiences, their near-death experiences they had. It's gonna be great, actually. I'm gonna have quite a good amount of people there and I'm gonna update you guys about who's there. Like, I know Tricia Barker. You guys mostly are familiar with her. She is the moderator of my panel. She actually produced my book, which, by the way, is on Amazon and Kindle. Boom, The Life and Times of a Near-Death Experiencer. For those of you that are pretty much looking at my YouTube for the first time, I want to say I want to say basically that I would welcome you guys to No Bad Vibes TV. You know what I mean? Basically, my name is Chris the Enlightened, aka Chris Indy E, aka the Muffin Man. You know what I mean? And pretty much, I'm a near-death experiencer. I'm suicide survivor. I killed myself about 7 years ago. You know, by jumping out of a moving car, which purchased my book, or even just I even have a video. You know, like that describes my near-death experience. So it's more like what I brought back from that experiences was love, and basically I came back differently. I went basically when I died. I went on the other side. I met my guardian angels, got a hug from God. The whole thing was wild. But and I looked at my body, then I see my body there, and I'm like, oh my goodness, I gotta change. I looked at my body on the ground, and I'm like, oh my gosh, while I'm up in the sky looking at my body. So I knew this stuff really happens. And pretty much with that, I left with the mindset of negativity. I had a magnet that just always was depressed, suicidal, and that's what caused it. You know what I mean? All my depressive, negative thoughts, the magnets I put out came back. Now, they came back the magnets I put out came back that way. Now, as far as coming back, I came back to this world after my experience when I was told I have to go back to the earth and all that. I came back with a mindset of love, and that's when No Bad Vibes was created. For me, I mean, No Bad Vibes 7. Plenty No Bad Vibes out there, but I feel like No Bad Vibes 7, I'm the suicide channel, you know what I mean? And speaking of suicide, I really want to encourage all you guys to call a hotline if you are experiencing suicidal thoughts, or if you know someone that is suicidal. It's nothing to play with, nothing to joke around about. Make sure you show these people that they're loved, man. You know what I mean? They have to. You just have to. I'm gonna leave the hotline number actually in the description. And with that being said, keep your magnets good. Keep your energies good so you get good back. So that's probably basically the main idea of this video. So with that being said, I love y'all. Appreciate y'all. Stay weird. Stay different. Stay weird again. Stay different again. And oh yeah, don't forget to keep that love in your heart, man. So with that being said, it's No Bad Vibes. It's all love. It's No Bad Vibes. And we are out.